just a quick topic, is the UN report that came out 6 days ago about how basically all the pledges and action that the government have taken, many of them have not been followed through with, and because of that, the world is on the path of 2.9 to 2.9 in the worst case scenario, 2.4 degree increase of temperature by I think the end of the century or middle of the century.
Okay, so that's we're supposed to be at 1.5 and now it's 2.9. What does this mean?
This means that if this happens, so if this scenario is not averted, life on this planet will be very difficult to sustain. We're not all gonna die, but there are gonna be massive disruption of the ecosystems, massive disasters,
I'm
famines.
guessing a lot of species will die.
Species will die. Humans will be forced to migrate. So it's going to be a very, very bleak scenario for the world. And this is something that the United Nations have tried to counter and avert for many years through, for example, the Climate Agreement of Paris that bounded the world to 1.5 degree increase compared to pre-industrial level temperatures, which still is not good, but it would have been way better. But basically now it's clear that unless there is a complete change of direction, but we are talking about, if I remember the numbers of the report, they said right now we are on course to decrease to 1% decrease of carbon emission.
Mm-hmm.
What is needed is 45% decrease of carbon emissions from all nations. So clearly we are completely off track. And if we don't fix that, if we don't change that, we are going to struggle a lot. So what do you think about these findings, Colombo? This is clearly linked to what we said before. The world is not taking the right actions to stop where we're going.
I mean, there's nothing to think, but it's utterly depressing, right? 1% versus 45%. Yeah.
So this is the case. So I think that it's very sad to say, but as we said, not everything is bleak. There is still hope. But it's important to understand the size of the challenge we have ahead of us, both to understand, for example, the role that activists are having right now, to understand how important are events like COP26 and COP27 that we're going to discuss about in 1 second, and also how important is our work that we're working, our vision we're working toward to try to provide a new solution. I would say that now we can, after sharing this very bleak report data, we can actually talk about COP27 and COP26. There is a kind of big climate news that is up and coming, because next week we're going to have COP27. So let me tell you what is COP, what was COP26, what COP27 is going to be, and then we can share our personal experience of when we went to COP26. So COP is the conference of the parties, so basically a conference of the United Nations, where all nations on this planet, and also additional stakeholders like businesses and so on, came together, and now 26 conferences ago, saying, okay, we need to find solution to the climate crisis. We need to find a way to protect the ecosystem and so on. So each year, or almost each year, this conference gathers and countries and other stakeholders pledges, they make pledges to try to avert the climate crisis. And the last one was in Glasgow in COP26, it was called COP26.